In 1921, 10,000 Americans picked up rifles and marched on an army of their own countrymen. Bombs fell from the sky. 1,000,000 rounds were fired. It was the largest armed uprising since the Civil War, and you were never taught it happened. This is the Battle of Blair Mountain. So how did it get here? And who made sure you'd forget? To understand Blair Mountain, start underground. In the coal fields of West Virginia, miners didn't live in towns. They lived in company towns. The company owned your house. It paid you in company money, scrip, that only worked at the company store. It hired private armies, the Baldwin-Felts agents, to evict, to beat, to spy. You couldn't organize. You couldn't leave. You couldn't win. Then came Matewan. When miners tried to unionize, the agents came to evict them, and the town's police chief, Sid Hatfield, stood against them. A shootout left 7 agents dead. Hatfield became a legend, so they killed him, gunned down on the courthouse steps, in front of his wife, with no consequences. That was the spark. 10,000 miners armed up and marched toward Logan County. Against them, Sheriff Don Chafin, paid directly by the coal operators, and 3,000 men dug into Blair Mountain. For 5 days they fought. The operators hired private planes to drop homemade gas and explosive bombs on American workers. 1,000,000 rounds tore through the ridges. It only ended when the president sent in the U.S. Army, and the miners, refusing to fire on federal troops, laid down their guns. Here's who made it happen. Coal operators who bought the law, a sheriff on their payroll, a detective agency that ruled by terror, and here's who buried it. The same powers wrote the history. The miners were tried for treason. The Union collapsed. The battle vanished from the textbooks, and decades later, they tried to erase the mountain itself with mountaintop removal mining, blasting the battlefield to dust. Blair Mountain wasn't a mystery of nature. It was a mystery of power, of who gets to be remembered and who gets erased. 10,000 people fought a war in America, and someone decided you'd never hear about it. The question isn't just how it happened, it's who decided it should disappear. This was Colossal Mysteries. Learn with me, because the truth was never lost. It was buried.